What's up? So this is the comment on our YouTube channel, and let's get into it. Be a welder, they said. Make 150,000 a year, they said. Hard on the body. Don't matter about the mask. It's hard on your eyes. You can get he's saying basically you can get like a chill job around the house for $23 to $30 an hour, anywhere from 25 to 35. And then a lot of fab shops will pay you 16 to 20 an hour to weld. So I'm not for sure about the union forklift jobs. I don't know anything about that or what they pay. I do know that a lot of fab shops don't pay a lot to welders in fab shops in your local town, obviously, because most of the people that are working in fab shops in your local town are from that town and probably straight out of high school, so they're not going to pay the most. So I traveled and welded the country for 7 years. Making 150,000 a year welding is not very hard at all. You're going to be working most of the year, but easily, if you're working all year, you can make 150 to 250,000 a year welding, and that's with specialty companies. That's if you network right and know the right people. I didn't try to make that kind of money in a year. I only made 80,000, and I worked 6 months out of the year. So you don't have to work year-round welding. That's the great thing about it. And one of the hacks to life is to get into welding and do it for 10 years hardcore, especially if you're a younger person, and you can set yourself up. So I'm 28. I welded for 7 years hardcore. I invested a lot of my money, and I don't ever have to travel and weld again because of my investments that I made. So welding is great if you do it in a short period of time and invest your money, but you always have that skill set and you can go back to it. Now, some jobs can be hard on the body. It just depends on what you're doing. If you're doing a boiler job, it's probably going to be a little bit harder on your body, a little bit more aggressive style of work. Versus if you go into a nuclear plant, it might be a little bit easier on your body. Now, I never did nuke. My buddy welds a nuke, so he knows a little bit more about that, and he says it's pretty laid back most of the time compared to a boiler job. And then not for sure about hard on the eyes. I never had any issues. I welded for 7 years, and I always wore shade 11 welding lens, so my eyes did not get affected. Maybe if you're welding for 20 plus years straight and you don't have the proper equipment on, your eyes can get hurt. But I always wore clear safety glasses, my welding lens, shade 11, never had any problems with my eyes, and to this day, I still have really good eyes. Also, with this recent election and possibly how the country could go in the USA, I think there's going to be a really big boom in America for construction and industry. So that means a lot more pay for welders. Whenever I finished traveling and welding, I was making around $44 an hour and $88 on overtime. And I think here in the future, that's going to go up even more if you're with good paying companies.